Well, Shuli, what we saw here was a surprise visit by Vladimir Putin to the Russian permanent air base in northern Syria, the Khmeimim air base, which is a massive military base where a significant amount of the Russian forces are positioned. He gave a speech, a rousing speech to his troops, followed by a military parade where he told his troops that their mission had essentially been more or less accomplished and they could go back to their families back in Russia, now that the fight against extremists, as Vladimir Putin calls them, has come to a conclusion. Although we have to remember that there is precedence here of Russians making troop withdrawal announcements in Syria, but not necessarily following through. We've seen prior announcements almost a year ago by the Russian Ministry of Defense of the end of combat operations in Syria and troop withdrawal, but not truly following through with it. Now, the question is, are there other motives here? Will Putin's announcement of troop withdrawals actually lead to a significant drawdown of Russian forces from Syria? What we do know is that the Russians have signed long-term military basing agreements with Bashar al-Assad that allow them to stay in Syria for a significant amount of time. In his speech to the Russian forces in the Syrian airbase, Putin did leave options open to continue the fight by saying that the Russian forces will continue to strike so-called extremists as needed. So Putin here seeming to give a mission accomplished type speech, a victory speech to his troops in Syria, just a few days after he announces that the fact that he's going to seek re-election as president of Russia. So many questions still remaining after this major announcement by Vladimir Putin.